Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And a couple of very interesting things have happened over the last couple of days. Of course, in the Ripple v SEC lawsuit and the process for, XRP finally becoming clear. Mind you that we are in the last phase of the Ripple v SEC lawsuit, the summary judgment phase, and things are honestly going pretty fast. And I'm also going to give you guys a quick warning. It could be that all of a sudden, I get shocked because somebody knocks on the hotel room door. There we go. One of the things we notice going on greatly is the amount of big whales getting into XRP. Now, whenever I see an article like this, I'm not 100% sure that it is actually a whale or just Ripple moving money around, because that is also very often the case. Here it says about 400 million XRP was moved by Ripple whales as XRP becomes week's top gainer. Indeed, it's also been the best performer out of the entire week. And whenever BitSwap transfers, I'm usually thinking, oh, that might be some sort of ODL transaction, right? Because they're working together with Ripple to provide ODL. So that could very much be the case. I believe Bitstamp actually is for the US dollar, and then Bitso for Philippine peso. I can't remember exactly which one is for which currency. It doesn't matter too much, but you know at least that it's working in that degree. It kind of depends, right? These exchanges could also just be moving because, well, they want to move to a different wallet. They could also be moving because somebody's taking the money out of it. It could be a multitude of different things. But at least there's a lot more activity than there was a little while ago. And in my own belief, it is mostly because people are starting to look into XRP thinking, oh, wait a minute, what's going on? It's the best gainer out of the entire week, and indeed, it's been up like ridiculously much. Apparently, XRP's return on investment is 8.3,000%, up 17.5,000% from its all-time low price of 0.002802, which is cool. I didn't even know that. So let's take a look at this. James Fillon said 1 out of 3. Here's the SEC's argument as I interpret it. We aren't saying XRP is a security per se. What we are saying is that any purchase of XRP as a matter of economic reality is an investment in a common enterprise with other XRP holders and with Ripple. Whether it's through horizontal commonality or straight vertical commonality, it is an investment in a common enterprise with other XRP holders and with Ripple. So while XRP may not be a security per se, there's no other possible way to offer or sell XRP except as a security, end quote. And when you realize what the SEC is saying, no matter how it is framed, the judgment that the SEC wants is one that incorporates secondary sales. See the screenshots below where the SEC uses the words a purchase and all units. So where things kind of get difficult in that sense is because even experts are all stating that this is kind of a strange argument to make. But most importantly, the Chamber of Digital Commerce over in the US came in to basically become friends of the court and say to the judge, the Digital Chamber of Commerce, or Chamber of Digital Commerce, that what they're saying right here doesn't really make a lot of sense. And most likely, this was like a little overdoing it, if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. The SEC attempted a full sweep, thinking it would go through really quickly, really easily, only to notice the hiccups along the road too late. And now it's kind of hard to back down because the majority of their arguments were based upon this one single thing being true. It's like, if, then, but then the if now kind of messed up. James Dudley said, so when I buy a Rolex, while it's not a security per se, I'm in a common enterprise with other Rolex owners and Rolex. Therefore, all Rolexes are kind of sort of securities. Doesn't make sense. And Ender said, correct. If Rolex was a competitor to JP Morgan, it would indeed have been sued by the SEC for being an unregistered security. That's kind of funny. But before we move on with John Deaton and a couple of other lawsuit pieces that I think you guys need to know about, I need to tell you guys about some guys that I met at the Binance Blockchain Week over in Paris. Now, you guys most likely saw in my videos that I was heading over to Paris, that I was, at the conference from Binance and I was chilling a little bit, and I actually got myself a little hoodie. Now, that hoodie was from BuySwap, and I got to meet a couple of people from the team there, and honestly, this project is insane. So basically, it's a very low commission DEX. I believe the number is 0.2%. It says it actually right there over in the top left. And I believe they give away 75% of the trading fee to liquidity providers. And check out these APYs on, for example, their native pair with USDT. It's actually 41.34 or 38, I'm not sure why I can't count, percent APY. And a couple of others here are also beastly high. Now, if you go and scroll through here, It's actually wild, honestly, because DeFi kind of took a hit, but the fact that they can keep up with these APYs is actually pretty solid. Even on stables, they're giving out roughly 4%, and there might even be another higher stable in this list somewhere. But yeah, it's mostly the BSW pairs that are just wild, which of course is their native token. But again, guys, I met up with them in Binance Blockchain Week, because they were basically at the entrance. I believe they might have been the main sponsor of the event. Very cool people, very friendly, and I was just kind of, like I usually do at conferences, asking them, what is it all about? What do you guys do? And I was pretty intrigued, and so I'm going to also make a video in a couple of days, maybe even tomorrow, explaining all the ins and outs and how to use it, and I'll show you guys all the different pieces about it. Again, it's even listed on Binance. I think they were the main sponsor. It's pretty huge. Now, the reason I'm making this video now, and not after I've given a full review and given you all the insights, is because they have themselves a huge event that I didn't even know about. I saw this over in the Binance Week, but I didn't bother to. I guess a lot of you guys saw over on my Twitter that there's a car right there on the top right. You can see it, right? And people kept asking me, oh, did you win this car? What happened exactly? Let me just play it for you guys. Did you win this car? Did somebody in line win this car or something? And I actually just didn't really pay attention to it, but they had like a spinning wheel, a little wheel of fortune. But checking it out, they actually have a grand event going on. Due to Binance Blockchain Week, Mercedes-Benz E-Class 2022 AMG or $50,000, some BuySwap merch and Apple products, 9 to 30th of September, 40 winners. Take part via the link. I'm going to put the link down below, I think, if it's following YouTube guidelines, so you guys can all enter, because that is actually wild. I know a lot of you guys like giveaways, so I'm just quickly sharing that this is actually massive. And it's also not a very difficult thing. It's just a questionnaire. It's very simple. I recommend you guys to enter, because what if you win? What if you win that Mercedes E-Class? You need to come pick me up, okay? No, but in all seriousness, winning that is like a small chance, but it's worth trying. And I always keep telling you guys, if there are giveaways to enter that are not hard, I honestly recommend people to do it, because I won giveaways before in my life. I do giveaways. And in this case here, I really sincerely like these people. If you're wondering though, it's a DEX on the BNB chain, helping you out a little bit, with very low fees. Again, 0.2%. So, you know, if all of a sudden you're not sure how to answer these questions, I got you. I believe they also have a video series over on YouTube that you might be able to check out. Not 1,000% sure on this. I'm just saying that for in case a couple of questions get difficult. I think the main thing they want is not just people just spamming that giveaway, but people that actually want to be involved with the platform as well. But I'd say try both, you know, get involved with the platform, take a look at what all the answers are, look it up, potentially choose this as your new DEX, and potentially win some juicy rewards as a result. So yeah, pretty awesome. I believe here's a total list of all the prices: Mercedes E-Class, iPhone 13, PlayStation 5, Oculus VR. Yeah, once you just follow the whole quiz on the Binance Academy, I will also leave a Binance link down below if you need to check that out still. You'll pass the quiz easily and you can enter. I don't think that many people are going to pass this quiz, so the chance of winning something I think is pretty good. Moving on, because honestly guys, I really think that project is insane, and I don't say this too often, but they've thought it out really freaking well, and then the fact that they're doing such a big giveaway is something I have to share with you guys. Especially because I met up with them and they're very nice people. You just want to help out more, if you know what I mean. Now, Jeremy Hogan said this over on his Twitter. Ripple argued that XRP is not a security because it has no post-sale obligations to purchasers. What was the post-sale obligation in Howey? Well, in Howey, the defendants sold small plots of orange groves to investors, and that would have been fine if that's all they had done. But then, after the purchase of the plots, the investors have turned around and entered into an optional 10-year lease service agreement contract with defendant's affiliate, allowing the affiliate to manage the grove as an entire unit and distribute profits back to investors. It was that pooling of money and management of the groves as one unit, which was the pooling of money and the common enterprise we hear about in the Howey case. But it was the lease service agreement that was the post-sale obligation. The Howey affiliate had to maintain those groves and distribute profits back to the investors or risk being sued. And that obligation to distribute profits is what is missing in Ripple's case. Sometimes the legal discussion becomes about utility, because there are some cases which look at marginal situations and rely on whether the purchase, for example, the land in that sense, was bought as an investment or to use. Did you really buy the land to go down and pick oranges in the summer? The library case judge and briefing was apparently very focused on the utility of the token, with the SEC arguing that even if 1 million people bought the library token to use it, and one person bought it as an investment, only one, that means it's a security, or at least only a security. No, if only one bought it for that reason as an investment, it's a security. Expect to see that discussion in the Ripple case this week as well, which in conclusion makes me nervous when I see new crypto projects being set up in 2 steps. First, the sale of an NFT, which then gives purchasers access to a second step, which somehow allows the purchase of the token. This is popular recently. It is. It really is. It's like the most common way to do things right now, it seems. This is concerning because it seems clever, but it takes away both Ripple's argument that the token was a sale of an asset and Library's argument that the token is a utility token. Just some late night ramblings while the kids are sleeping. Good night. And it's very good to think about this. So we'll just basically have to see how the judge reacts to this. The SEC is most likely going to push for this in the next couple of days, so you have to be kind of wary of some sort of massive attack from the SEC side. Then again, in my own opinion, it's nothing that Ripple can't get over, and honestly, the points still stand. XRP is not a security, whatever left or right you want to go. And the SEC can try, but the judge will most likely see through the charade. It's going to be a they versus them type of situation, where the SEC is arguing the one side, Ripple's arguing the other, and it will just have to be up to the judge to decide the underlying correct parts, I should say. But indeed, if you compare it to this whole orange growth situation, indeed it becomes more and more clear that whatever lawsuit the SEC thought to go for doesn't really make a lot of sense. And obviously, guys, I keep reminding you of this. The more that people become aware of that situation, the more they're starting to buy XRP, which is obviously why the price has been doing so good over the last couple of days. I keep reminding you guys, don't stay too far away in this lawsuit. Any one day it could be over, and every single day we get small little updates that add up to a whole. I've done at least like 1,000 updates on this lawsuit and XRP stuff, and I've really noticed that we're getting closer and closer to the end, but more importantly, we're getting closer and closer to clarity in crypto, which XRP is a very big part of, and to some degree, that makes me even more proud. A lot of contrarians, or I should say XRP haters, are not really understanding how important this lawsuit is going to be for crypto clarity all over the US, but I think a lot of us do see it, and we understand this will be hugely important. So the fact that it's playing out right in front of our eyes, and it's basically solving discussions right now that would otherwise have to be faced by other crypto projects over the next couple of years, that all is being taken care of in the Ripple lawsuit, makes it harder, certainly. But then again, it makes me kind of proud to be kind of involved in this, even though we're not very much involved. I just kind of signed up as a John Deedon, side feels like I'm like a side character in the lawsuit, with John Deedon, Ripple, SEC, and the Chamber of Digital Commerce being main characters, and Jeremy Hogan also being like a secondary main character, and we're all like side characters in this, just watching this, being involved with talking about it and whatnot, but not actually being able to change too much. Then again, it is interesting to watch, and I do enjoy my time over here. But yeah, that was it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to the channel. Got a lot of cool stuff coming up shortly, which I'll share with you guys, but make sure you check out the links down below for BuySwap and maybe Binance. I'm going to maybe put a link for that down below as well. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today.